Jdeme to dohrát. Už nám nic jiného nezbývá. Nebudu nic skipovat, nebudu nic speedupovat. Budu to číst normálně. Včera jsem to rozspeedoval jako kokot. A dneska si dáme čas. Začal jsem v 9 místo 11. Takže by to mohlo znamenat, že to stihnu. Přejte mi štěstí, čete. Já nás dovedu do toho good endingu. Doufám. Okay. Game capture. Koukejte na to ominous golden boy. Tak pojď. Capture se to? Yes, sir. And then... This is it, Saber. I hope you are not still refusing to admit defeat, even in this state. Gilgamesh walks forward, not a scratch on his armor. Saber lays on the ground, looking up at her enemy. There's nothing she can do right now. Nothing can stop him from doing whatever he likes with her now. Gilgamesh, what was that light? Despite the situation, Saber is more concerned about that light. That flash of light. That deep darkness that welled up from the far side of the temple and, for a moment, covered the world itself. She doesn't want to think about it, but that darkness might have been aimed at Shiro. That light just now, you know, it's the curse. Kodomine must have summoned it straight from the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail apparently holds within it something capable of cursing the entire world. The pollution we've seen so far is nothing more than residue leaking from the Grail. And now, it seems, the main body has emerged. Your master is dead. That can't be. Saber wills her body to move. But she knows she can't. She can't just lay down though. Lies. Shiro is still alive. She can still feel her connection with her master. It's weak, like the faint embers of a fire on the verge of going out, but Shiro is alive. She has to keep going. If he fights something unheard of or incomprehensible, Shiro will be no match for it. Saber clings to that faint warmth and again wills herself to move. But it's useless. Even the sacred sword's sheath needs a few more minutes to restore her. It's too late. Stay here, Saber. No matter what you do, the Holy Grail will soon overflow. It will be a repeat of 10 years ago. This time, though, the ritual is for you rather than me. The Golden Knight smiles as he turns his gaze up to the burning red sky.
喜べセイバー。あれを浴びればお前も俺と同じになれる。この世で肉を持ち第二の生を謳歌できよう。まあもっとも俺のように自我を保てるとは限らんが。
Rejoice, Saber. Once the contents of the grail have rained down upon you, you will become like me. You will gain flesh in this world and enjoy your second life. Of course, you may not retain your sanity as I have. Saber looks up at him, bewildered. She can sense the immensity of the curse. It is a magnificent cluster of magical energy with so much power, any magecraft would be possible. Were caster to wield it, the possibilities would be endless. But it's a double-edged sword. It curses humans and only humans. Even heroic spirits would not be able to remain themselves after coming into contact with that curse. That's when she realizes, Gilgamesh. A decade ago, that corruption even swallowed up the most ancient king of heroes. Then... Okay, checking out Squilla. Gilgamesh. Do not tell me you... He's gone mad.
Oh,
do you think so, King of Knights? Gilgamesh looks down at Saber, laughing merrily. It's strangely out of character for him, but the look seems somehow appropriate.
Eiyu to wa na, Ono ga shikai ni hairu subete no ningen o seou mono. Kono yo no subete nazo, tou no mukashi ni seotte iru.
Do not underestimate me. How could I call myself a hero if I could not drink up something so paltry as a curse? All the world's evil? Ha! It is nowhere near potent enough to contaminate my glorious self. Listen, Saber. A hero shoulders the weight of all humanity, and I did that eons ago. Hearing those words, Saber gasps. She knows in that moment that she will never understand his heroic spirit. His unthinkable arrogance, the staggering ego leading him to believe heaven and earth exist only for him, his ruthless choices that bear no regard for any but himself. All of these things are completely opposite to her own beliefs of what it is to be a king. But he was a king. Even Saber cannot deny that. No other servant than Gilgamesh could have retained their sense of self after being bathed in that immensely powerful curse.
そうだな。泥を飲ませるのはいいが、それで自我を失われては楽しみがない。どれ、今のうちに婚姻を決めておくか?
Je to důvod pro ně. Tady to je dobrý konec. Forcing you to swallow the mud may be entertaining, but once you lose your mind, my fun will be over. Let us resolve to be married before that happens. Gilgameshu, you are unbelievable.
なんだ、手荒く扱われるのは趣味ではないか?
Oh, do you dislike such rough treatment?
ならば慣れておけ。女と食事に出し惜しみはしない主義でな。
Bože můj.
気の向くままに奪い、食らうだけだ。
You had best get used to it. I do not believe in restraint when it comes to women or food. I devour both as I please. Saber glares up at Gilgamesh as she hangs upside down.
サーバントとしてマスターに義理を立てているわけか。くだらんな。たかが霊樹の縛りでこの体をくれてやっていたとは。
So you're acting out of a sense of duty to your master. As a servant. Pathetic. I can't believe you gave him your body and soul simply because of the constraints the command spells placed upon you.
それは違う。勘違いをするな、ギルガメッシュ。
No, you misunderstand, Gilgamesh.
私は誰にも従わない。初めからこの体にそんな自由はないのだ。
I do not obey anyone. That is a freedom I have never had.
ほう。ではどうあっても俺のものにはならないというのか。
Oh, so you are saying that you will not be mine, no matter what. His red eyes rake over Saber. They are entirely devoid of human emotion. If she disobeys, he will kill her, no matter how attached he may be to something. If it does not obey him, he will simply destroy it. That is simply how Gilgamesh sees the world. Saber doesn't look away, she simply glares hatefully at Gilgamesh.
ギルガメッシュ。私は誰のものにもならない。
Gilgamesh, I will never be anyone's possession.
私はすでに国のものだ。この身は女である前に王なのだから。
I belong to my nation. I am a king before I am a woman. She's not saying this to anyone in particular. She's simply expressing the tiny warmth still within her heart.
何を言うかと思えば。
Ha! Listen to you.
笑わせるな、セイバー。王にとって国とは己のものに過ぎない。何もかも支配できぬのならば、王などという超越者は不要なのだ。
Do not make me laugh, Saber. A country is simply one of its king's possessions. If he cannot rule everything, a transcendent being like a king serves no purpose.
まったく。アーサー王よ。そんなだからお前は国によって滅ぼされたのだ。
Honestly, King Arthur, it is no wonder your own country turned on you. The Golden Knight mocks her for her naivety. Her heart is set now.
ああ、その通りだ。だが英雄王よ。
Yes, you are correct. But listen, King of Heroes.
そんなだから貴様は自らの国を滅ぼしたのだ。
Your arrogance is what destroyed your country. Such fierce spirit. Saber twists her entire body, using her leverage to kick Gilgamesh in the face with her free leg. Gilgamesh releases her. Saber stretches her arms out and arrests her fall, then springs upward.
男子を足毛に。おのれ。
Oh, shit.
どうやら本格的にしつけられたいらしいな。セイバー！
You dare kick a man? It seems you really do require discipline. Saber!
男子を足毛
Oh,
に。
shit. She closes her eyes and looks within herself. It is no wonder your own country turned on you. It is not news to her. Since her summoning as a saber, she's been hearing those words over and over. It's different with him. He grew angry with her, as if it had been about him, but he also thought her actions were worthy of pride. She knows what she must do. Even if she has no hope of victory, she cannot stop here. She needs to do something while she can still feel that warmth inside her. She has to get to her master as fast as she can. She's about 8 meters from Gilgamesh. She positions herself at the ideal distance for intercepting an attack, which she has just experienced firsthand. Her body won't move the way she wants. She can barely grip her sword and her legs are hardly able to bear her weight. Even a weak blow would be too much for her now. But she shows neither weakness nor hesitation.
一言聞いておくが。
Let me ask you one thing. Even Gilgamesh feels he has to prepare himself. The Golden Knight readies air, his eyes on his opponent.
それは正気か?
Are you quite insane? Saber doesn't answer, but her determination is there to see in her eyes.
よかろう。ならば加減はなしだ。
Fine, then I will not hold back. The air itself roars. Air, the sword of rapture from ancient Mesopotamia, is said to have divided heaven and earth to create the world. Gilgamesh, the king of heroes, readies his supreme sword to finally put an end to his enemy. The atmospheric vortex it creates, the sheer quantity of converging magical energy, far exceeds Saber's Excalibur.
消えろ。目障りだ。
Begone. You are no more than an eyesore now, woman. Gilgamesh raises his sword. Saber mirrors the movement in perfect synchronization. Their eyes meet for an instant. Enuma Erish! Gilgamesh flourishes his sword. But Saber's sword falls to the ground, useless. She lacks the strength to activate her noble phantasm. The light which can sever all things bursts through her. Unable to do anything, she is swallowed up by the light. Neříkej mi, že tohle je taky špatný konec. Ne, já se bojím. The moment I'm engulfed in darkness, hell itself is imprinted on my mind. The 5 starting penalties: life, body, imprisonment, humiliation, and finance. Let the myriad sins, mud, darkness, and malice continue to surround and punish all. Eliminate human rights through decapitation, exile, and repression. Let the body descend into a state of torment and debauchery. Eliminate group consensus by forfeiting honor. Die. Ridicule through greed and arbitrary decisions that freeze assets and property. Imprisonment, fines, and the death penalty. Crimes committed in the name of personal grudges. Crimes committed to satisfy selfish desires. Crimes committed unconsciously. Crimes proclaiming self-consciousness. Civil disturbance, solicitation, fraud, theft, robbery, kidnapping, self-harm, violence, arson, bombing, infringement, manslaughter, group violence, professional negligence, overconfidence. Accidents by intoxications, cover-ups, crimes for personal gain, crimes committed in the name of the ego, crimes committed in the name of love, crimes committed in the name of virtue, crimes committed for themselves, theft and embezzlement, fraudulent cover-ups, contraband, crime, hate, grudge, attack, dirty, real dirty, atone. Silence, crimes, victim, atone. This world is ruled by non-humans. Know your conscience to rectify your sins. Know the penalty of your sins. Herein lies the goodness of man. Terraria Musica. Herein lies the goodness of man, so plentiful that he is unaware of the totality of what he is exposed to. Know the violence used to cover up the crime. Know the authority that hides the crime. The malignancy of man is here, so rare and so hard to find that it stands out in sharp relief. 100 benign, 1 malignant. To balance it out, the malignant chides strong and reigns as a mighty and vicious evil to complete with the benign masses. The 5 starting penalties. For you, 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 for you. Solicitation, fraud, theft, robbery, kidnapping, self-harm, tyranny, arson, infringement. Dirty, 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 dirty. You're all dirty. Atone, 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 atone. Violence, crimes, victim, atone, atone. Die to atone. My brain's going to explode. The mud eating away at my body does not peel off. It mercilessly robs me of my warmth. I feel the horrible curse crushing all of my senses, crushing me. Darkness I can't look at directly. Ugliness I can't acknowledge. Crimes I want to run from. All man's sins. I'm going to die. Anyone caught in this darkness wouldn't be able to resist letting it devour them, just from the sheer pain and disgust. But Kotomine said it once. This curse is what killed Kiritsugu. That's enough to banish the darkness. Heat returns to my body. Blood rushes through me, wounded as I am, and helps me get back to my feet. And why not? I mean, Kiritsugu Emiya shouldered all of this for years. Did he die, his own wishes unfulfilled, because those voices never stopped screaming at him atone? He said he wanted to be a champion of justice. He ran around like an idiot trying to be useful to someone, and in the end, nobody let him do what he wanted to do. Even so, he still pursued something, the ideals he had given up on. And then in the end, the words of some silly kid lifted a burden from him, and he finally let himself believe that everything would be okay. I have to stand up. I said I was going to take his place and carry on his dream. If I really am the son of Kiritsugu Emiya, the champion of justice, I can't let the bad guy beat me. Tosaka told me, I need to win even if it kills me. Saber told me, Kotomine is the enemy I have to defeat. Even Kotomine said, if I'm going to fight, I should put my life on the line. That's right. What can I put on the line here if not my life? I don't have anything else to offer anyway. I desperately leap out of the mass of black mud. I can hear his surprise. My throat is burning. Every breath is like swallowing glass. I don't care. Tears of frustration stream down my face. I might just burst from sheer anger before the curse can tear me apart. Impossible. Have you truly just shaken the curse off? I push my body, forcing it to run. One hand goes behind my back. I grip the dagger I've been concealing this whole time. Unbelievable. You managed to escape and your next action is so pathetically foolish. I suppose you must simply have run out of ideas. Shut your damn mouth. I never had a plan in the first place. I run. Kotomine sticks his hand into the waterfall behind him and draws out another lump of darkness. Then you can follow your servant. That light that you saw earlier was Saber's defeat. You have no one to help you now. There's no more hesitation now. If I get my hands on Kotomine, he will regret what he has just said more than anything else. I still have a command spell on my left hand. I don't know if I'm alive or dead, but that is the proof, and I can feel the truth of it. As long as I still have my command spell, Saber's still with me. If she is still there, she must have defeated Gilgamesh and be headed to me right now. And if I don't greet her with open arms, when that happens, well, I know her enough to know she'll be mad. So I'm going to beat you here and now, to fulfill the promise I made to her. Darkness closes in on me. Kotomene releases a giant mass of curse. My body begins to crumble, starting with the extremities. I won't look away. If this is my role, I'm not done yet. Enuma Elish! A fourth line splits space itself. With a flash of light and a roar of wind, Ea releases a vortex of pure destruction. The sheer intensity prevents Saber from using her own noble phantasm, so she lowers the sword and lets herself sway as if collapsing. The light draws near. Saber's too injured to dodge, and there is no shield capable of defending against Ea's attack. That furious dance of light and wind can only annihilate everything in its path. Nothing can stand up to Ea. Wait a minute. It is an immutable fact. Both of them knew it to be true a few hours ago. For once, that astonished cry comes not from Saber, but from the Golden Knight wielding Ea. Ea continues to release its torrent of magical energy, unleashing a ravening beam of destruction. But Saber is on her feet, stepping into the light of Ea's power. Her silver armor screams. Cracks splinter every layer of magical energy protecting her. With not a second to lose, she closes the gap between herself and Gilgamesh. Kusu Kaliba! To counter Ea's destruction, Saber releases every drop of power at her command. Searching heat scorches the earth in all directions in a brilliant flash of light. Two titanically powerful swords clash, their power so vast it creates a visible border as the two struggle against each other. But is it all for nothing? Excalibur cannot beat Ea. Even if Saber risks her life and attacks without concern for the consequences, she can only push back just the smallest bit. The scales tilt in favor of Ea, and Excalibur's light weakens, pushing Saber back. I see. So you have lost your mind, Saber. The Golden Knight draws Ea back, but then sees his enemy's renewed, reckless advance, so he pours yet more magical energy into Ea. There's no turning back now. All that is to do is use his full power to utterly annihilate Saber. Ea's segments spin faster, 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 reaching their maximum speed, and the light that envelops Saber cuts Excalibur down. But in the instant before that happens, Saber charges. A tiny opening created by Excalibur's power allows her to take a single step closer. In the instant she reaches that space, her noble phantasm appears. Darkness. Do piči, to mě tak stresuje. Darkness buffets Shiro as if he were caught in a wind tunnel. There is no avoiding or deflecting darkness that coats space itself. Those swallowed up by the darkness can only be consumed by it. He's corroding from the fingertips inward. His legs kick at the air as if swimming. His outstretched arms are swallowed up in the black mud. His vision fails him. It's like being erased. Shiro feels himself shrinking, but he refuses to die. He tries not to look away, pours every ounce of strength he has into resisting. He fights the darkness covering him, the pain trying to melt his body, and the curse trying to dissolve his mind. Shh. It's all in vain. No human could resist this corruption, and yet he continues to move. His arm is still raised, held out, trying to grab something, but his heart is already broken. His thoughts are smothered in darkness, and soon it will consume him. But in that moment, you are my... Why did he remember that voice? A light in the darkness. The moment he realizes it's that light, everything runs in reverse. The switch flips, his thoughts gain speed, creating crackling sparks that form the shape with astonishing speed. Oh, já mám shivers. Trace. On! He murmurs the spell to begin projection. In that instant, it's complete, skipping every step of the manufacturing process. He didn't need to reproduce it from scratch. The shape had already been engraved onto his very soul. It had been a part of Shiro Emiya for so long that he had perfectly memorized it. You were my sheaf. His fingertips, desperately reaching, move again. They grab hold of the object he created without concentration or spellcasting. The world turns on its head, darkness eradicated by golden light. In Shiro's grasp, duplicated flawlessly, is Saber's sheath. And so, as Aya's all-destroying light burns away everything in its path, Saber releases her own noble phantasm. Nani? What appears before her is, without question, the sacred sword's sheath. The mystics which shroud it are unknown, but the sheath repels Aya's light. No, this is beyond simply defending its wielder. Instead, it cuts her off completely. The wall that keeps the filth of the outside world from Fairyland. A world that cannot be reached. Forever isolated from the rest of the world. Saber is protected by the sheath of the sacred sword, and for a moment, she exists apart from all reason and lodging in this world. It is the greatest protection in the world. Nothing, not even the 5 magics, can pierce its perfect defense. And so, the sheath is named Avalon. Avalon, it is the place King Arthur is said to have gone after dying. The utopia the king dreamed of, but could not yet reach. Gilgamesh sees the Grim Reaper raising its scythe. But it's too late. Ea won't stop rotating, and Gilgamesh can't retreat. How could he? Who could ever have believed an attack with so much magical energy, such unimaginable power, could ever be blocked? How dare you stoop to such a petty trick? A streak of blue surges forward. Saber's armor is gone. She has shed her armor so she can use its magical energy in her sword. Ekusu! Saber! Kalima! The moment he takes the sheath, the darkness is dispelled. The darkness surrounding Shiro Emiya, the darkness that contaminated his body, fades all at once. Impossible. But this should come as no surprise. The sacred sword sheath protects its owner. That filthy mud could not possibly destroy the embodiment of the utopia the girl sought. He runs. In the instant the darkness is dispelled, he moves with all the speed of a comet. Projection! Who the hell are you? The priest, so assured of his own strength, and the boy who could afford no such arrogance, face off. It is but an instant, but that instant decides the battle. Kireikotomine! Shiro Emi rounds, sometimes stumbling onto all fours. In one hand, he holds the dagger. He scrambles forward on his hands and knees towards the priest. Shiro doesn't stop. He thrusts the dagger of retribution into the priest's chest. Gah! The priest turns slowly, before he can leave. Shiro steps down on one foot to ground himself, and turns in a circle using the momentum of his dash. He invents himself like a top, and he floods his left hand with magical energy, and, like a whirlwind, Lest! His magical energy pours into the Azov blade, along with the world to trigger its release. Saber swings her golden sword. She must not have had the energy to push herself back up. Saber keeps the sword down, head down. Gilgamesh stares, wide-eyed at the knight, as she cuts him in half. In the silence after, the wind whispers through the compound. There remains not a trace of the light that had flooded the area seconds ago. The two knights do not exchange words, they simply stand, facing each other as the battle ends. Gilgamesh sighs. He lifts a hand and traces a finger along her cheek, as if to check the knight. Such an impudent woman. You oppose me to the very end. His golden armor begins to fade. The bloody king of heroes starts to disappear. But I shall forgive you. Some things are beautiful precisely because they are unattainable. His finger slips away from her. The arm he had raised to touch her falls weakly. I suppose it was inevitable, then, that I would lose to you. He clicks his tongue in displeasure. Then, at the end, farewell, King of Knights. It was certainly entertaining. He smiles ironically and vanishes. Pale blue sparks flicker along the priest's form. They spread in all directions, from where the dagger protrudes from his chest. No flesh falls away, and there is no sign of bleeding. Even so, the battle comes to an end. He's not even looking at me. Instead, he stares down at the dagger at his chest in confusion. The wind is blowing. A gust of wind blows from the hollow overhead, muffling the sound around him. In the silence that follows, why do you have that sword? Kotomine's voice is low, mumbling. It's not mine. Dosaka lent it to me. I'm not sure how long he was thinking. He takes a deep breath and finally moves, having been motionless from the moment I charged at him and impaled him with the blade.
そうか。以前気まぐれでどこぞの娘にくれてやったことがあった。なるほど。私も衰えるはずだ。
I see. I once gave it to some girl as a gift. Maybe 10 years ago. Yes. No wonder I've gotten so weak. Kotomine collapses. I watch it all unfold. Even on the brink of death, he spoke of himself as if he were talking about someone else. Finally, the priest sinks into that which he summoned, the very thing he wished for. And that is the end of Kirei Kotomine. The true end of a long battle. With the enemy defeated, only one task remains. The dark hollow in the sky. The mud had stopped pouring from it, but that eerie void continues to quicken. It's the Holy Grail, the omnipotent Grail said to be given to the winner of this war. The wind howls. With Kotomine gone, the power binding Ilya vanishes. Ilya's been released from the hollow, and now she sleeps beside me. She doesn't seem to be in danger of dying. She'll probably wake up after we go home and have Tosaka look her over. The war has ended. No one else will get hurt. We won't have to lose anyone else now. No more masters, and the servants will disappear now that their roles are over. I knew this was going to happen. I climbed those long stairs with her earlier. We've already said our goodbyes. All that's left is to bring the curtain down onto this whole war. I look up at the hollow and wait, my heart as empty as that void. And then she appears. She walks straight towards me, looking no different than when we first met. She stops once we are close enough to touch each other. We neither ask about each other's well-being, nor offer any congratulations. This has already been decided. There's only one thing left to do. I will destroy the Holy Grail. That is my role. Saber starts walking forward. The strong winds coming from the hollow do not deter her. She approaches, one step at a time. She's within the range. She quietly readies her sword and looks up at the black hollow. I just watch from where I stand. I clench my fists so hard they bleed. I bite my lip, and I try to hold back the feelings fighting for expression. I try to burn the image of her into my mind, and then...
Master,
Master, your orders, please. Without your order, I cannot destroy that thing. Her back still to me, she tells me to use my final command spell. When the Holy Grail is destroyed, Saber will disappear. No. Since the Saber will destroy the Holy Grail with her own hands, she won't have to become a servant. She only became a servant because she saw the Holy Grail. Destroying the Holy Grail should also avoid her contract. She should also avoid her contract, since she will have chosen to do it. The moment she destroys the Holy Grail, her life will end, but she will remain king forever. Shiro, I would like to hear it from your own lips. I hear Saber. Every time I hear her voice, I want to scream. I want to tell her not to go. I want to scream my real, honest desire. I want her to stay. And yet, I can't ever say that. I love Saber. I want her to be happy more than anything else. And I want to be with her forever. But if I really love her, that's not what I should be doing. I love Saber for fighting her hardest even when she was wounded. She gave up everything, and while she was torn apart, she still held to her conviction, even to the very end. If I think that is beautiful, if I think that is something worth protecting, then I can't destroy everything she stood for just for my own happiness. She was born a king, and that's how she lived. Nothing can change that. From the moment she drew the sword and made her vow, she was king, nothing else. That is her conviction. She fought her battles until the very end, believing she was doing the right thing. The dream of a young girl named Artoria. She abandoned her own life and chose to be king. She chose to fight. Even when she was told that everything she does would go unrewarded, she still wielded that sword and kept her to her vow as a king. That lasted for many years. I can't do anything to tarnish the pride she held to until her final moments. Saber, fulfill your duty, please. My voice is heavy with emotion. Light flares around us. The brilliant ray cuts the hollow in front of us in hell, leaving no trace of it. Nothing remains. The mountain's summit has been blasted away, leaving only a smoldering wasteland behind. In the distance, the first rays of dawn light the sky. A glimmer of gold peeks over the horizon. My left hand hurts. The final command spell disappears. And then I accept that it is finally over.
これで終わったのですね。
So, it has come to an end. Yeah, this is the end. There's nothing left.
そうですか。では私たちの契約もここまでですね。あなたの剣となり、敵を撃ち、近江を守った。
I see. Then our contract is also ended. I was your sword. I defeated your enemies and protected you.
この約束を果たせてよかった。
I am glad I could keep that pledge. Yeah, you did well, Saber. I don't know what else to say. Saber is far away. I don't try to run to her. The sun rises. The wind starts to pick up. A golden glimmer shines, seeming to last forever. In it,
最後に一つだけ伝えないと。
there is one thing I must tell you. I can hear the determination in her voice. Yeah, what is it? I try to at least sound strong. Saber sways. She turns. Saber looks straight at me and says, her voice clear.
シロ、あなたを愛している。
I love you, Shiro. She said it. The wind blows over the mountaintop. For a moment, I close my eyes, blinded by the morning sun. Then I open them again. I don't think I was surprised. I just had a feeling. Our goodbye was always going to be like this. All I see is the wasteland. Saber is gone, carried off by the gusting wind. Just like when she appeared, she left with grace, without a trace. Yeah, that's so like you. There are no regrets in my voice. Every memory, both of what I've lost and of what I've gained, remains in my heart. I'll keep them all there, forever. I look out at the rising sun, hoping I never forget any of this. that none of it fades from my mind for a long time to come. I watch the morning glow spreading over the distant land below. It reminds me of the golden fields she had fought on. Epilogue. Guys, pár slov jsem upustil. Ah. I hear a creaking sound. It's the old, heavy, rusted door of the shed opening. Light pours in through the crack in the door. It's enough to wake me up. Ty vole, to jsem dlouho nevoisoval. Senpai, are you awake? I don't even need to look to know who's approaching. It must be their time already. I take a deep breath and open my eyes. Good morning, Senpai. It is time already. I see that. Morning, Sakura. Thanks for waking me up. It is nothing. I knew you'd wake up anyway, so I didn't need to do anything. Got it. So how come you came all the way out here to wake me up? Fakt, já jsem si vysvakat do píči. Oh. Fuck. It is no trouble. I just wanted to wake you up in this morning, so I woke up half an hour earlier than usual. Today is a special day after all. Oh, then I remember. That's right, it is a special day. Sakura, I don't think I even need to ask, but Fujina is not here yet, right? No, Miss Fujimura is not here yet. Oh, but Ilya is already here. I knew it. If Ilya's here, then that can mean only one thing. Sorry, Sakura, but I need you to take care of breakfast this morning. I'm going to go and wake Fujine up. Oh, okay. Good idea, senpai. Luckily, I was up late last night, so I'm still in my work clothes. I'm glad I don't need to change to head out. I'll be back in 10 minutes. You're in charge of the house until then. Yes, you can count on me. Hey, Shira's awake! Yeah, I just woke up. I'm going to wake Fujina up, so go help Sakura with breakfast. I pat Ilya on the shoulder and head to the front entrance. She beat me to it! Ah! I said I was going to wake Shiro up, Sakura! Ilya fumes at Sakura as she stomps over the shed. This sort of thing is hardly unusual anymore. Ilya said she wasn't going to return to her home country, so I talked to Fujine about taking her in. She was vehemently opposed and suggested that she would take in Ilya at her house. Since then, Ilya has been staying at Fujimura house. And, of course, she has been coming over with Fujine mornings and nights. It goes without saying that they're coming for breakfast and dinner. The two have been living together for 2 months now, and they're practically joined at the hip. When I pass near the shed wall, I hear Sakura and Ilya talking. Ilya is pretty blunt, so I thought she wouldn't get along with Sakura, but that doesn't seem to be the case. They're like an old couple. Ilya is energetic, while Sakura is more laid back. It seems they get along, in spite of their differences. In fact, Sakura has regained her usual cheer thanks to Ilya. Ever since Sakura's older brother Shinji disappeared and was listed as missing, she had stopped smiling. She must have sensed that he had something to do with the mass coma incident at school. Fretting over Shinji, Sakura shut herself away. It was Ilya who forced her to get over it, and Sakura is her normal, cheerful self whenever she's with Ilya. If Sakura's smiling again. I'm truly happy about that. Sakura's most herself when she's smiling, that gentle smile of hers. Oh, Ilya's so mean. I even offered her a little extra pocket money to wake me up, no matter what. Fujina is in tears as she shovels breakfast into her mouth. I had no choice. If I waited for you to wake up, I would be late, and I work enough to earn my pay. If you want me to work harder, then you should just raise my allowance rather than giving me a little extra sometimes. I know you get money from grandfather too. Why is this child such a misser? Nobody will like you if you're so stingy at such a young age. That's okay. As long as the person I like doesn't think like that, I don't care what anyone else thinks. Oh, by the way, Taiga, I want the money you borrowed the other day back. It was payday 5 days ago, right? Eh? How do you know that? Raiga told me. I can give you the details of the conversation if you like. Ilya grins really. Really? Unlike her more friendly relationship with Sakura, Ilya and Taiga are practically cats and dogs. Ilya gets really mean with Fujina. Even her smile reminds me of a certain someone's smirk. You've got until tomorrow. If you can't pay me back, I'll take it out of your allowance, Taiga. What? I can't believe grandfather told you about that. Fuck. Yep, I'm with him all day. Raika even said I'm cuter than you, Taiga. Ah, what have you done, Shiro? This girl is the devil. She's going to take over the whole Fujimura group. More importantly, why does a grown woman still get an allowance from her grandfather? See you later, Shiro. You're coming home early today, right? And I'll wait here, so come home quick. Yep, I'll try. Take care of the house, Ilya. She might as well just live in this house, for all I care. Dummy. Fujina sulks as she hides behind my back. Yeah, back up, Taiga. Don't give Shiro such a hard time. Ilya shrugs off Taiga's comment. Looks like Fujine isn't really in a position to push a back against Ilya. Well, I'm going ahead. Don't dawdle and wind up late for school, Shiro. Fujine lets out an engine roar and disappears like a speeding bullet. She got her driver's license last month. Since then, she's been late for school a lot less often. But now she has a new nickname, Rocket Tiger. Rocket Diver. She's the only one who doesn't know about it. Whew. I stretch and take a deep breath. Sakura already left for school. She ate a pretty big bowl of rice this morning, so she must have me pretty driven today. Today is a big day for the Kyoto Club. Now that she's the vice captain, Sakura must be really determined and enthusiastic today. Alright, I should go to school too. Today is April 7th. Schools are starting the new school year, and the season has gone from the cold of winter to spring. It's been 2 months. I feel like a lot has changed since she left, but the changes all seem minor. Winter is over, and it's finally spring. That's the only thing that has changed. I might have grown and matured, but I'm not a different person or anything. So, not that much has changed. Shiro Emiya is still clumsily stumbling along in Kiritsuko's footsteps. Morning, Emiya. Fancy running into you in the morning. Hey there, nice weather we have today, Tosaka. I wave in greeting. But is this really a coincidence? We run into each other almost every day. Well, sure, we never ran into each other that often before. Run into each other? Tosaka narrows her eyes and glares at me, unhappy about how I phrased that. I don't think getting angry so early in the morning is good for you. Tosaka, did you start leaving your house earlier? You always arrived later. You were never early or late to school. That's not true. It was just a coincidence that we never saw each other. Did you know your house and mine are in opposite directions? So if we woke up at a normal time and walked down the hill at the same time, we would naturally meet up here. Huh. That's news to me. Then I guess that's not so surprising. Wait a minute. That's only possible if our daily schedules are the same. For Tosaka to reach this intersection at this hour, she would have to wake up at 6 in the morning. But that's... Tosaka, you must be exhausted. Just come right out and say it. What are you talking about? I'm not tired, and I'm not pushing myself either. Why would you say that? Well, because you're not a morning person. If you go to school while you're half asleep, your goody two-shoes front might collapse. You'd be a gunner if you fell asleep in class. If someone woke you up, you'd go berserk, and they'd see your true terrifying face. Like, who dares disturb my slumber kind of terrifying. I would never do something like that. I would never make a mistake like that just because I woke up 30 minutes earlier. Oh, so you did wake up earlier than usual. Oh, come on. It doesn't matter what time I get up. If you have time for trivial questions like that, then go get to school. Tosaka huffs and looks away. She has a point, so I'm going to let this go and just resume our walk to school. We walk up the hill. The townscape below has bloomed into a springtime scene. The breeze is pleasant, and the leaves of the cherry blossom tree planted near school dance on the wind from time to time. It makes me smile.
何？今週はほとんどバイトなの？
Hey, are you mostly going to your job this week?
まあ、エミヤ君の時間だから文句はないけど、そんなんで体壊さない？
Not that it matters to me since it's your time and all, but you're not overworking yourself, are you? Eh? No, I got a day off today. I heard the Kyoto Club was holding a welcome party for the new members, so I figured I'd bring Ilya to hang out.
なんかさりげにすごい度胸してるわよね、あなたって。平気な顔してイリアを学校に連れて行くあたり大物だわ。
Whoa, you've got guts. You don't even bat an eye at bringing Ilya to school. You're something else. Huh? Is that bad? Ilya seemed bored, so I thought this would be a good distraction.
まずいわよ。まずいけど、そういうことなら私もお邪魔しようかな。イリアがいるなら退屈しないし、何より危なっかしくって放っておけない。
It is bad. Anyway, I might swing by too. Hard to be bored with Ilya around, and most of all, it's too dangerous to just ignore this. I'm grateful to hear her say that. Tosuka understands Ilya much better than Sakura or I do. It's not just that she periodically checks in on Ilya's health. Tosuka and Ilya are both proper mages. Ilya still doesn't fully understand that she needs to hide the fact that she's a mage, so Tosuka's been a great mentor for her in that regard. And so, things are starting to settle in their respective places. The new priest the church dispatched has already repaired most of the damage from the Holy Grail War, and we've more or less gone back into our ordinary lives. There are things lost that we can never get back, yes. But the wounds are slowly healing, and I should be glad to know that some of the regrets I felt before are slowly fading.
けど、意外だったな。
But that was unexpected. Tosuka mutters under her breath. She looks down at the town, her tone serious. Huh? What was unexpected?
私、シロはもっと落ち込むと思ってた。
Well, I thought you'd be depressed.
しばらくは立ち直れないだろうなって思ってたのよ。
I was worried that it would take a while for you to recover from all of this. She's talking about the girl who's not with me now. It has been 2 months, and this is the first time we have brought up the golden-haired girl. Yeah, I don't think I'll be able to recover from it either. I was going out of my mind just thinking what might happen afterward.
けど、蓋を開けてみれば、シロったら今まで通りだったでしょ。落ち込むどころの話じゃなくて、次の日にはもうケロリとしてた。
But when it actually happened, you acted the same as always. You didn't seem depressed. You were even acting like nothing happened the next day.
その時にね、こいつ大丈夫かなとも思ったのよ。うまく言えないんだけど、次の日にはあっさり事故で死んじゃうような雰囲気だった。
That's when I started to get worried about whether you were really okay or not. I can't really explain it, but it felt like you were going to die in some freak accident next day or something. Freaking what? How does me seeming fine end with me dead?
そういうこともあるの。人間ってのはね、何かの手違いで一生涯の目標を叶えちゃうと、それでぽっくりいくものなのよ。
Things like that happen. A person just accidentally achieves their lifelong goal, then kneels over and dies.
もう生きるのはいいやと思った途端、赤信号なのに車が突っ込んできたり、あっさりと階段から落ちたりするんだから。
The moment they think they don't need to live anymore, a car runs them over, or they just fall down a set of stairs. Huh. That's a little hard to get my head around. I guess she's talking about dying after living a full life, or resting in peace, maybe.
だから私はそれが心配だった。ああいう時はね、いっそ派手に落ち込んでくれた方が周りは安心するものなの。
That's why I was worried that it was going to happen. You know, there are times it's more normal to get spectacularly depressed. What, would you have comforted me if I got all depressed?
まさか。背中に蹴り入れて一日で立ち直らせてやったわよ。それができなくて残念だって話。
Of course not. I would have kicked you in the butt and made you get over it in a day. I was just disappointed I didn't get the chance. She turns away, displeased. It's so funny. I can't help bursting into laughter.
何よ、おかしい?
What? Was that funny? No. Your tough as nails line was just so you. It was a relief. We continue walking, enjoying the spring sunshine. The hilly road is long, and it looks as if it continues into the endless blue sky. Then, she brings something else up, surprisingly casually.
じゃあもう未練はないんだ。セイバーがいなくなってもさ。
So, you don't have any regrets, you know, about Saber being gone? Her eyes are on the sky as she speaks. Yeah, I don't have any regrets, probably. I'm not trying to put up a front. I even surprise myself with how at peace I sound. Nothing was left unsaid, so I don't regret anything. Everything went into the moment we said goodbye. What I wanted to do, what she dreamed. Maybe we were both stubborn, and maybe I really should have grabbed her hand and made her dream come true. But there was something we both felt was beautiful, and we both desperately tried to protect it until the very end. I have no regrets, as she probably ended her time. I can't let myself be stuck in those memories forever.
シローの中ではだから落ち込むこともなく思い出に浸ることもないってわけ。
Ha! So you already settled the matter for yourself. So that's why you're not depressed, and you're just going to drown in your memories. Yeah, but I still dream about her. I'm going to remember her for the rest of my life. One day, my memories of her will fade, and I'll forget her voice and her mannerisms. But still, I'll never forget what happened, or that I loved her. Tosaka doesn't say a thing, but for some reason, she looks elated. She's practically skipping now. What's going on, Tosaka? What's the rush? Did something happen?
別に、ただ早く学校に着きたいなって。
Nothing. I just want to get to school quickly.
さ、そういうわけだからシローも急ぐ。のんびりしてると置いてくわよ。
So come on, hurry, Shiro. I'll leave you behind if you're too slow. She turns around and starts to run up the hill. What the hell? Why would she push herself when she's not a morning person? I grumble, then sling my bag onto my shoulder and run to catch up. It's only 7:30 in the morning. It's too early for students who aren't involved in any club activities. But I guess there's nothing wrong with getting to school early. I run up the hilly road that seems to stretch into the sky, and I reach the school earlier than usual. Today is the first day of the school year. If I want to celebrate, I need to shake off old memories. Remnants of my memory will never go away, but I still need to go on, even if the emptiness in my heart makes me cry. The blue sky is off in the distance. It feels so close, but even if I reached out, I could never grasp it. I have looked to the stars before. There are unreachable stars and unfulfilled wishes. Nothing of ours remains behind. So, someday, my memories of her, even the image of her face will disappear. And yet, even if I can't ever reach her, something will remain in our hearts. There may be nothing physical left, but we both shared time together and looked up at the same things. If I can remember that, I can believe that we are still together, even across such a great distance. Some things are bound to disappear, but others never will. So I'm going to keep running. If I push far enough, I might one day reach what I was aiming for. The new beginnings of spring, after the end of a harsh winter. I head up the hill under the same blue sky she looked up and saw. The battle is over. This is her final battlefield. The battle that split her country in half and ended with the king's victory. Bedivere? The knight runs to her. The battle is over. The blood-red sunset has faded, and now the darkness of night covers the battlefield. The hill is littered with corpses and curses. All that resentment tries to drag the survivors down with it. Through it all, the knight runs, breathless. He grips his horse's reins as the wounded white steed does its best to keep up. The knight and the white horse are the only survivors. Draped over the horse's back is the wounded king. To nezní jako Bedivere. Protože v anime zní jinak, no jako ve Fate anime zní jinak, potom zní jinak v Fate Grand Orderu. A tady zní jako Gawain. Your Majesty, King Arthur, this way. The knight must be wounded himself, but he runs with all his might. The king he serves is on the verge of death. Even after defeating the rival king in single combat, his king sustained a fatal wound. The knight knows there is no hope here. His king will die soon. To je Gawain. To je Gawainův normálně voice actor. Please stay with me. If we manage to reach that forest, you shall... He calls desperately to his king, or perhaps the knight truly believes that his king is immortal. So long as they have the guidance of the sacred sword, the king will never perish. With labored breathing, the knight crosses the mountain of corpses and heads to a forest that has not yet been stained with blood. He knows of his king's immortality, so he believes that if he can only escape this cursed battlefield and lead the king somewhere pure, the king's wounds will be healed. Or rather, he hopes. Unlike the other knights, he always believed in his king. The king had always been isolated at court, shunned by the knights and feared by the people. But the knight was proud of the young king, who never revealed any personal feelings, no matter the situation, and always remained idealistic. The knight did not serve his country, and that is why he entrusted his sword to his king, strove to aid his king, and rose to the position of the king's personal guard despite his young age. The king whose true face can never be seen. The boy tried to be fair and selfless, and did not allow his personal feelings to interfere with his duties. Rather, he hoped that if he could someday get close enough, he could see his king's real face. That is his greatest desire. He wants so much to see his king's true face, not the stern countenance the king bore on the battlefield, but his king's true face, a smiling, laughing, human face. That moment would surely come in court, when the king is relieved of all duty. Even the most perfect king cannot be on edge all time. The knight was proved wrong though. What he learned defied his expectations. He reached the rank of imperial guard and stood guard at the king's side. He guarded the king more closely than any knight and always observed the king's behavior. But the moment he wished for never came. His king never smiled. Why does that make him so angry? The king should radiate glory, having achieved such a success. But never once did the king seem at ease, even for a moment. He couldn't stand it. He wanted to believe this shouldn't happen, and so he wished for his king to be rewarded with light. That has yet to be accomplished. The king still remains solitary, and so the knight refuses to accept his king's death. It cannot end here. If it does, this great king will never be rewarded. Je to Bedivere. A to je definitivně Gawainův voice actor. Your Majesty, please stay here. I will summon reinforcements right away. Once they reach the forest, the knight leans his king's body against a large tree. It is a race against time. Even riding hard on horseback, it will take half a day to bring back the troops they left at harbor. Any who see the king now would know that the king will not last until dawn. Until dawn?
それまで辛抱を必ず兵を連れて戻ります
Please, hold on until then. I promise I will bring our troops back here. The knight bows to his half-conscious king and returns to his white steed.
ベリビエル
Vedivieri. Before he can leave, the king he fought unconscious calls out to him.
おう意識が戻られましたか
Your Majesty, have you woken up?
少し夢を見ていた
Yes, I was having a dream. The king's voice is faint, but there is warmth in it.
夢ですか
A dream, sire. The knight's voice is imploring. The king's life is balanced on the tip of a blade. The darkness will surely take his king if the knight does not respond.
そうだあまり見たことがないのでな貴重な体験をした
Yes, I have not had many dreams, so it was a valuable experience.
それはではどうぞお気遣いなくお休みください私はその間に兵を呼んでまいります
That is wonderful. Please, have a pleasant rest. I will call for reinforcements while you do. A faint gasp. The knight's words must have been unexpected.
おう何かご無礼な点でも
Your Majesty, have I said something to offend?
いやそなたの言い分に驚いた夢とは目を覚ました後でも見れるものなのか
No, you only surprised me.
違う夢で
Oh,
はな
fuck.
く目をつむればまた同じものが現れると
No, you only surprised me. Can you still dream after you've awoken? Are you saying I will return to that same dream after I close my eyes? Now it's the knight's turn to be surprised. For a moment, he is at a loss for words. At length, he responds, though he knows there is no truth to what he says.
はい強く思えば同じ夢を見続けることもできるでしょう私にも経験があります
Yes, if you truly desire it, you will indeed return to the same dream. I have experienced it myself. It's not possible. A dream is a fleeting thing, not something to return to. Even so, the knight lies to his king. It is the first and last time he will do such a thing.
そうかそなたは博識だなベリビエール
I see. You are quite knowledgeable, Bedivere. The king's soft voice is admirable. The king's head remains tilted down, not looking up at the knight. The king breathes so softly that it can be barely audible.
ベリビエール我が名剣を持て
Bedivere, take my sword. The knight receives his king's final order.
良いかこの森を抜けあの血塗られた丘を越えるのだその先には深い湖がある
Listen,
そこに
Fuck.
我が剣を投げ入れよ
listen. Pass through the forest and travel over that bloody hill. Beyond that, you'll find a lake. Throw my sword into it.
おおそれは
What? Your Majesty, that would mean... The knight knows what that means. The sword in the lake. To relinquish the sword that had protected the king and served as proof of kingship would mean the end of his king.
行くのだことを成し得たのならばここに戻りそなたが見たことを伝えてほしい
Go. Once you have fulfilled my order, Return here and tell me what you saw. The king does not take back orders. The knight takes the sacred sword and goes over the hill, his indecision weighing heavily on him. And so, 3 times the knight hesitates to follow his king's command. The lake looms in front of him, but he cannot throw the sword away. Doing so means his king will disappear. The knight's unwillingness to part with his king stays his hand, and so he returns to his king. Once again, the king orders him to throw the sword into the lake. When the knight lies and claims he has thrown the sword into the lake as ordered, his king simply replies, "Do as I have commanded you." To defy the king's order is a great sin for the knight, but he has already done so twice. Each time he stands before the lake, he hesitates at the thought of losing his king. No more. When the knight realizes he cannot alter his king's decision, on his 3rd visit, he hurls the sword into the lake. The sacred sword returns to the lake. A white hand emerges from the water and catches the blade, and the sacred sword vanishes from the world. And the knight finally accepts it. The end of his king, the responsibilities that had so long burdened the knight, finally come to an end. By the 3rd time he crosses the hill, the first rays of morning light touch the forest. The ruins of the battlefield now distant. There is no trace of the bloody battle, only a thin haze covers the hill.
湖に剣を投げ入れてまいりました。剣は湖の夫人の手に確かに。
I have thrown the sword into the lake. It is back in the hands of the Lady of the Lake. At the knight's words, the king's eyes open.
そうか。ならば胸を張るがよい。そなたはそなたの王の命を守ったのだ。
I see. Then you must stand proud. You have obeyed your king's command. The knight gives a silent nod to that voice, knowing the speaker is on the brink of death. It's all over. Turmoil will continue to grip the nation. The wars will not end. The day of ruin will come soon. But the king's battle is over. Because he, or rather, she fulfilled her role till the very end. The light fades. With everything done, the last of the strength that she kept her going is spent.
すまないな。ベリビエール。
I must apologize, Bedivieru.
今度の眠りは少し長く。
This sleep will be a long one. She closes her eyes, slowly as if going to sleep. The morning light spills through the treetops. As the king drifts to her eternal rest, a hush falls over the forest. The knight continues his vigil over the fallen king. The king he wished for, the solitary king attended by only a single knight. And he finally sees the look he hoped for on his king's face. A peaceful sleep. In her last moments, the king finally finds the peace that had so long eluded her. The knight is overjoyed. The knight thanks whoever gave his king such comfort, and watches the king with a sense of pride. The heavens are distant, and the clearer sky is blue. The battle is truly over.
見ているのですか、アーサー王。
Are you watching, King Arthur? His words ride the wind. The sleeping king appears to sing into the endless blue.
夢の続きを。
May your dream continue. A distant dream takes her. The The battle is over. Let us put our swords down and rest in the momentary peace. After dozing in a warm dream, a new day will dawn. The days continue on, and we are still following the same star we once saw. Fuck, man. To bylo kurva dobrý. To bylo nádherný. Wow, já jsem ztratil slova, tohle bylo fakt kurva dobrý. Tohle je můj rádoby první visual novel, který jsem rádoby dohrál, protože jako hrál jsem DDLC předtím, ale to je asi tak všechno. A kus nekopary. Ale wow. Tohle bylo úžasný, teď to byl zážitek, který jsem neočekával. Děkuju Fateu, že jsem zase ztratil kus svýho života do té property, protože damn. Ty vole, Bedivere tam asi nebyl, fuck. No, to je moment. Mám takový shivers, ty vole. A ano, v skutku jsem utratil pár slz na ten moment, kdy Saber odešel. To mě dostalo. Hele, to je Caliburn, ten budu mít. Direktor, Kinoko Nasu. Děkujeme, Nasu. Děkuji, Type Moone. Fin. Jaký Finové? A new route has been unlocked. Takže je to takhle. Completed Saber's ending. Fuck. Damn. To bylo něco. Teď si asi můžu dát vlastně novou hru, ha? Day 1, remembering 10 years ago morning, skip the scene, yes. Jak to teď bude divergovat? Define. Aha. No, nemám tušení, kde mám teď pokračovat. New route has been unlocked. Unlimited Blade Works. No, já si to projedu. Znova. No. Moje dobrodružství tady oficiálně končí. Teda jako se streamem, protože Unlimited Blade Works a Heavensfield si dohraju už sám. Ale tohle bylo kurva super. Wow. Miluju Fate. A miluju Saber. A to se nikdy nezmění. Kdybych měl zapomenout, jak zní, jak vypadá, tak budu pořád vědět, že ji miluju. No. Tak. Nevím, jak dlouho si dám pauzu a když začnu hrát Hollow Ataraxy na streamu, protože to bych chtěl taky streamovat určitě. No, ale samozřejmě. až ten čas přijde, tak se uvidíme znova. A do té doby